Hi, I'm Tom.
I'm Matty.
And I'm Lewis. This is the Wigan Way, Wigan's favourite rugby league podcast.
He'll put you in his trap, 'cause he's a union man. He's got it all figured out. He won't care what you think, 'cause he's a northern man. He's allowed to speak his mind. His mind.
So we're back with another episode of the Wigan Way this week. A little bit of a difference, a little bit of a change in the running order because Wigan haven't played a game this week. We've had the week off. We finished second. We get the week off. The lads have been on the training camp away, and we got to watch the other games and find out who we're going to play in the semi-final on this Friday. So we decided to mix it up. We're going to start off with a proper preview of this game, and then we're going to look at how the two teams got there, go around the grounds, and the rest of the episode as normal. Before we get into the details, Matty, just you this week. Lewis is ill. Yeah. He's been in work, but he's phoned in ill to us,
as all of us would do. We all go into work when we're ill, don't we?
Yes.
Probably shouldn't, but we all do.
Yeah,
it's easier actually going to work than setting work for people when you're ill.
Much easier.
Like when you're off ill,
to then just reteach it
it's
because
so hard, and then you have to reteach it anyway. Yeah. Especially by the time you've done that, it's easy to just drag yourself in.
Yeah. So, how have you been, Matty, this week?
Yeah, I've enjoyed. I've enjoyed watching the carnage of the last minute nature of the Saints and Leeds match, and just the fact that we were safely into the next round. I think that's the word I'd like to describe it.
Yeah.
Safely.
Tickets bought.
Yeah, we've bought tickets into the next round. We're safely there. We had a home match, one win to get through to Old Trafford, and we could watch the third place to sixth place teams scrap it out for the right to play us, basically. Especially that first game where you thought if Leigh win, they're gonna come to us.
Leigh have to win to know they're going to play us, and then
we knew they were.
If they'd have lost, but even in that other game, Leeds and Saints looking at each other, going, "Winner of this has to go to KR."
Yeah.
It's like it's the longer route, it's the tougher route, but not being in that section is obviously a massive advantage.
It is, yeah.
Should we get into our game then?
Yeah.
Right. Let's be clear to everyone listening. We are recording this on Wednesday. It is 23 minutes past 7 that we are recording this. There may be more statements at some point, but
I'll tell you what, the statement this morning took me by surprise. I think I got it after 1 minute. It had been out 1 minute because I was making porridge.
Yeah,
and I overflowed the porridge because I was just in shock reading it. I thought it was a wind-up.
I thought it was a wind-up. I have never seen a statement like that from Wigan, and we'll go into the details behind it, but just to be clear, and what was said, this was a statement released by Wigan at 25 to 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
At 10:37 p.m, on Tuesday the 30th of September, our club was informed in writing by Derek Beaumont of Leigh Leopards that they did not intend to fulfil this Friday's scheduled semi-final fixture. Now, I'm not going to read the rest of it out. If you want to go and read that, go and read it. Wigan finished the statement by saying we continue to prepare for Friday's semi-final and will release further information as the situation develops.
Yeah.
Now, there is so much to unpack with this, and so much rumours and so much he said this, she said that.
Well, where do you want to start?
Well, the first thing is because of it being a playoff game, Wigan have the obligation that they have to give Leigh Leopards 10% of the capacity for the away fans.
So it's about 2,000...
About 2,500, isn't it?
2,300, yeah.
Well, the capacity fully sold out is 24,000, isn't it?
It is now, yeah.
So call it 2,500 for easy maths. What we know to be true is that Wigan have offered two amounts.
We always offer the same because the North Stand is the North Stand.
Yes, it's the away stand.
That's where when it comes to the playoffs, that's where it comes against us, having such a big away end.
Yeah.
Having the biggest away end in the league goes against us because it means that...
It's loud.
Well, yeah, but also, I mean, we wouldn't have to give all those tickets, but we always do.
No, we could, in theory, split that away stand in half, section it off, and give 10%. Because of the nature of seating and the rules and regulations behind stadium safety,
Yeah.
and our understanding is that Wigan Warriors have followed its legal and professional bound to comply with ground safety officers.
But what they've done is probably just what they always do.
Yes.
Which is, so if you want it unreserved, we have to take some off.
Yeah,
So do that for Good Friday.
if it's reserved...
I remember a couple of years ago there was a reserved seating Good Friday.
Yeah.
And it was a bit tricky. And I don't know if it was unreserved this year, probably was back to unreserved this year, because it was quite hard to make sure everyone got the right seats.
Yeah. So the understanding behind that is you get 5,400 seats if they are reserved. It's 4,600 if unreserved. And the reason behind that is, obviously, as people fill in, you end up leaving odd seats. You don't quite sit next to someone, or there's 3 seats and you come and sit in one of them, and then there's 2 left either side of you, and all that malarkey. And if a family come in, a husband and a child, a husband and a wife, or a parent and a child, whatever, they have to be able to sit next to each other for security reasons, safeguarding reasons, all the stadium regulations. So that is the rule, and Wigan have always followed that. So that's been made public. Leigh chose the unreserved amount of 4,600. That is their right. Wigan have offered it and given them how they want it. It's still more than the 10%.
It's almost 20%.
Yeah, it's nearly 20%, way over what's obliged of them. They've sold them out and asked for more tickets. You can't then start saying to people, go and buy tickets in the away end, because policing and stadium security and things like that in a heightened situation, you have to do things a certain way. Now, we don't know why this has come out, but by the sounds of it, there was a statement from Leigh that said, buy tickets in the East and West stand.
Yeah.
Wigan have then cancelled them tickets and said you can't do that.
You can't buy tickets in the East and West Stand unless you have a history of purchasing tickets with Wigan Warriors.
So they've cancelled them tickets. Spoke to Leigh fans. By the sounds of it, it's not that many fans that they've actually cancelled tickets. Someone was explaining to me that it was nearly 7,000 at one point. That is me over exaggerating, but making it sound like it's an awful lot, and realistically it's near to the hundreds that have been cancelled, and they fully understand why. And by the sounds of it, Derek Beaumont has threatened to pull out of the game.
Yeah, do it then.
Well, do you think this is Wigan just saying we're not dealing with this rubbish?
We're not playing to your tune. We're not playing you. Why would we do that?
It's our stadium. We know the rules. We're following our regulations. Yeah. We're following government regulations, all legal and advice and situations. And it's just a case of we're not playing your games. You can threaten us. You can say you're going to do X, Y, and Z.
That's exactly what it is. And it is intimidation.
Yeah.
And there will be some clubs with newish CEOs who will say, oh, don't do that. Of course, we'll give you some more. Reality's not going to do that.
No.
All right, forfeit the game then. We go to Old Trafford.
Yeah.
All right, fine. But
you're not going to do that.
But I tell you what, I want my money back for that game, and I don't want it to come out of Wigan Warriors' pockets.
Because you're not going to do that. You're not going to pull out of the semi-final.
Of course you're not.
Yeah, and you can make whatever statement you want.
It's an empty threat, because if he does follow through with the threat, it's his club that misses out.
Yeah,
and that was perfectly fine.
And I've seen them.
And I think, when you do some things like this, sometimes you've got a chance of getting the moral high ground, but the reaction to this has been overwhelmingly in favour of Wigan from around the league, which has never happened before.
One of the conversations I've seen was, there's always 2 sides to a story. Yeah. The problem is Derek has been seen to do things like this many a time and throw his toys out the pram when he hasn't got his own way.
Oh, he was pulling the Leigh out of the league and creating his own startup league one time because they got done on an obstruction call.
Yeah. And when you look at what Radlinski does, it is so often that he's on the right side of decisions.
Yeah.
And makes the right call, and that's why he's got so much credit in the bank with Wigan fans.
No, he shouldn't have released this stuff. He's caused all this problem by releasing.
Well, that was the other one. Wigan should have known that it was an empty threat from Derek
and just ignored it.
And basically, my understanding, this was from a Leigh fan who tweeted this. Wigan should have known that it was an empty threat from Derek, and thus not released it and dealt with it in house. So what I think he wants from us is to be little brothered. You know, like when you're you're the little brother. Don't you have your little meltdown, right? And we'll play the big boy game,
your
right?
little brother is way cooler than you, though. He's too cool to be listening to this.
Yeah.
I'll text him that I've said that, but Leigh's not cooler than Wigan.
No, but clearly that's what it is. Wigan should have been the bigger brother that says, "Oh, shut up! You're having your temper tantrum. We'll just deal with it."
Yeah,
Never
mind. Come on.
Do you need to go back to sleep?
Come on, you need to have a nap.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
you knock over your apple juice.
We're on Wednesday here, and Wigan are being threatened by pulling out of this game.
Yeah, but we're going to be threatened by a trip to the grand final.
I know.
Like, yeah, all right.
Yeah. And we're going to just say, no, we're not playing games. This is the way it is. These are the rules. This is what we've done. We've been more than accommodating. Yeah.
Like saying to you, like, if you don't tidy your car, I'm going to buy you a new one. All right, then. I'll call you bluff on that one.
A better one.
Yeah, I'll get you a new better car if you don't tidy that one.
I'll pay the 4 months first payments for you as well. And I just can't help but think, this is so stupid.
It's the biggest away allocation ever.
Why
in the playoffs? In the history of the playoffs, it's the biggest away allocation.
Why are you making this threat at 10:37 p.m?
Well, I know why.
We all know why. I'm so done with our game living in such a tiny.
It's very non-league football, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. But you can't even imagine it happening in non-league football. Like, other clubs in the playoffs have said, actually, the last time you came to us, this is how many you brought, so this is how many tickets we're giving you. The last 2 times they turned up, this season they brought just over 2,000 and just over 1,000.
Second time they brought nobody.
They brought just over 1,000. Imagine if Radson just said, here's 1,000 tickets because that's how many he sold last time.
Not even that many people live in Leigh.
Well, what is 5,000? I wonder what the population of Leigh is. Because I'm sure I read somewhere that it was 10% of the population.
It's not a fraction of 1% like it would be from any other place.
Yes. Yeah. Right, shall we actually get into the game? Because I'm sick of talking about this.
Okay, if the game goes ahead...
It will.
Which it will. But then...
I'm just getting my cap ready for Derek to come cap in hand.
But then, the preparation's going to be disruptive for both teams. But by far it'll be worse for Leigh.
Well...
If you're Adrian Lamb, what on earth did you do in training today?
Make phone calls to my agent.
Yeah, maybe.
That's all I'm doing.
Maybe.
So let's just assume this game goes ahead because it will go ahead.
Yeah.
It will. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is how do we get out of this without looking bad at the moment. And that's why we've not had another statement. Obviously, if we do get another update during this episode, we will react to it live, but we haven't heard anything yet. Well, let's get into this game. Semi-final football. We've been there so often.
Yep.
And I'm going to put it down to 3 or 4 simple words. Kick, chase, and tackle.
Yeah.
This game is 20 minutes, Harry Smith, kick to the corner, pin him in on that 5-and-5 box kick.
Grind them down, bring it away from your own line. And then when they overcommit, Bevan punch it to the other corner and we'll go 10 tackles over there, 5 tackles over there. Yep.
Do another set, 5 more tackles.
Go through the middle, win the middle, And if you're tired of going through the middle, go through the middle for another 5 minutes. And then do maybe 10 more minutes going through the middle.
And then, just as you start thinking we should start playing,
Do another few minutes of running through
do
the middle.
another 3 sets of going down the middle.
Yeah.
And I will stand up in that crowd on Friday, and if someone says throw it out wide, I will do the reverse and shout,
Throw it out the middle.
stay out middle. Yeah?
Yeah.
15, 20, 25 minutes of boringness, of
That would be so effective.
pinning teams in there and burning and wearing teams down.
Yeah.
I don't want to see off odds. This is a game I could potentially see Leigh not coming on in the first half.
No. No. But when they do come on,
It'll be the right time.
yeah. Hopefully.
It'll be the right time.
Hopefully we're not throwing them on in desperation,
Yes.
which we have obviously had to do in the past.
So we've looked at the squad. The squad has been released today. We should point out.
Have you ever seen a squad for Wigan like that? From like the last few weeks.
Well, we've released a 21-man squad, right? And
We're going to struggle without Willie Isa.
We've released squad numbers 1 to 24. Number 14 is missing because Willie Isa retired.
Because he works for Chelsea.
Number 18 is the Wigan Warriors.
That's
family.
us. We're going to be there. We're in.
Yeah.
Not in the squad, but we're in.
Not in the squad. I'm an injured out at the moment.
Yeah.
Um,
Lewis definitely is.
and 23 is Douglas.
No, Tom Forber.
It's Tom Forber, sorry.
Is he? Yeah, 23, Tom Forber. Yeah.
So, Tom Forber's missing. Tom
He's out for the
Forber's out.
season. Yeah.
Now,
So we're missing a guy who's worked at Chelsea all year and our third choice 9.
and third podcast host.
And our third podcast host, yeah. I forgot
Potentially, depending on how unwell
about that.
he
Yeah,
is.
and an opposition, maybe.
Well, it made me really funny that Wigan released that statement and then released the team at 12 o'clock.
Exactly, 12 o'clock, yeah.
And then Leigh released theirs.
No, the funny thing was Leigh went, 2 days to go until the semi-final against Wigan, and everyone in the comments went, is it?
You also noticed that they released saying 1 day originally to
Oh, did it?
their original post was 1 day to
No, I
go.
didn't see that.
Yeah. We've talked about this season, how many injuries we've gone through and how many whatever. And I don't have all the data for how many games each player has played. Matty, I'm certain you do somewhere.
I do, yes. How many would you say Bevan French has played?
I think he's missed 12.
No, he's not missed that many.
Not missed that many.
No. Off the top of my head, we are late 20s for games played, and he's played 20 of them. We played 29 games, 28 games, and he's played 20 of them.
The 27 plus
'Cause
the cup games of Sheffield and Hull is 29 games, yeah.
Yeah, because I looked at the Wigan Way points, and he was right up there. And I was thinking, hey, how can he be right up there? And it's because he's played 20 games. Like that's probably about as many as he played last year.
But he came in that long spell.
It was the fact that it was a long spell, and obviously we suffered a bit in that time. But also we had 3 weeks off in that time, I think,
Yes.
with the 2 cup rounds and the England. What didn't happen?
Yeah. The split round.
So it felt like an age. Well, it was an age really, but it was
We got a little bit lucky.
maybe
there.
7 games. We got a bit luckier.
But if what I want to get at is, you look at the time out spent by players. Miski out for a long spell. Kieran missed a couple of months.
Yeah, Havard.
French missed a couple of months. Just going through the team here. Havard missed a long part. Brad O'Neill came back off an ACL.
Yes.
Luke Thompson missed a long spell. Going off the starting lineup.
Walters.
The 2 second rows in December and Farrell have been okay. Kade Ellis has been okay. But
Kid Ellis has been ever present.
going on to the outside backs, obviously you've had an injury to Tom Forber. Walters has missed a long period.
AK.
I think I've already said AK.
Oh yeah.
But I'm at 8 players there that have missed months of rugby at different points. Missed upwards of 5-6 games. And actually that's caused us problems through the season. But it's also maybe a benefit here.
Yeah, I've never seen a squad be hitting the playoffs with so many players.
With your third choice 9 injured.
Yeah,
And that's
I've
it.
never seen that ever. I've never seen that.
And I'm not I'm one to praise Matty P. I don't think you can praise that as much. It might be a little bit of luck that them injuries are
we've
just...
been lucky that they've all lined up nicely, but obviously, of course, when those injuries were happening, it felt pretty bad, and there was a bit of doom and gloom, and we were missing the playoffs. No, we didn't panic. No, we didn't panic, and so the coaching staff didn't panic. There were a couple of ugly losses in there, but there were also signs that we'd be fine if we just got a couple of bodies back, and then, hey presto, we got a couple of bodies back and we're fine.
Yeah,
and we're rolling teams, and we just felt like that was always the case, and so the guys who got back, French, Walters, Thompson, big names.
Yeah,
really big names. We'd gone to St Helens and beat them for the first time at their place for a long while. We just handled the end of the season. I went away, Catalan dominated them. That's the only game they lost in the last 3 months or whatever it was. He's coach of the month, Joel Tompkins. And yet we absolutely butchered them on their own paddock. And
we talked about that momentum building and that rolling.
Yeah.
I can't even think of the analogy now, but it's just starting to roll and all come together.
It's that Warrington game you said to me was starting to get on a roll here. The whole KR game, I can't remember what order these were.
I think it was KR because we said some good signs there.
Defence was amazing there.
We played Warrington. We said,
just a couple of Warrington first actually.
But there was a 3 or 4 game period where we just started.
The Wakefield game at home where they come into it off the back of a really good win. And we just dominated them. And then Catalan, Saints, Cass, Leeds, all just wiped out.
Yeah, so it was Warrington. I was going to say it was Catalans at home, Warrington away, Hull KR at home, Wakey, and then Catalan. Yeah. And that's where we went. The momentum's shifted now.
So we're coming home with a wet sail, really. I suppose we have to be as top of the egg rankings.
The egg rankings.
We're coming home as the form team.
Yeah.
In the comp.
So yeah. Right. I want to go and look at the opposition before we look at we're getting in some real depth. Matty, what's the key man for you? What's the key thing? Or it might not just be one player or such, but...
No, okay. I think Adam Kieran's the key for Wigan defensively. I know I always talk on here about people blaming right centre every time I try and get a score on that side, and it's not always their fault. But he'll have a tough job this game because Leigh loves to throw that right to left shift. Lockie Lamb loves throwing it that way, and you know what's coming. It's a bit like the early Tompkins stuff. You know what's coming, but you can't stop it. They're all testing you off the back of that shape, and it gets a lot of tries. And
got a great finisher outside.
Yeah. It does set up a lot of tries for them. So if Adam has a good game defensively, then I do think that will stamp out a lot of what Leigh do well, and that can be it's fantastic when you have this move that's really successful. But if someone does stop it, what do you do then? And so I'll be interested to see what plan B is for them. And I'm hoping that Adam can clamp that down, and I do think that's probably why we'll see Abbas on the right wing, just defensively. I think that combination worked really well at the end of last year, and I think that's probably the one we'll see. I wouldn't be against seeing Zach on the wing, but I think that will go with Abbas for his defence.
I like what you've done though, turning that into a battle, a head-to-head. Like Leigh's right to left attack. It's our right side defence. Yeah. I like that. Right. So I'm gonna throw one out there as my matchup or battle, and it's not going to be player against player. It's going to be the back threes of both sides. We talked about finals footy. So I've been listening to some Australian podcasts saying that.
Finals footy, I know.
Oh, that's started. No,
player footy.
Did not like that.
Player footy.
Right.
At the finals, right. I was on the BBC page this week looking at the BBC best sports photographs, and there was one of Paul Alamotti's try, which I'm sure we'll talk about later. Brilliant picture. And it says the Paul Alamotti of Penrith Panthers dives over Reece Walsh of the Brisbane Broncos to score a try in the preliminary NRL final. And I was like, if you're not a rugby league fan, you have no idea what that means. Preliminary final? What? What?
Yeah, that's a good point. That.
What's wrong with semi-final? There's two semi-finals.
No, so the semi-finals, and then
Yeah, I know there's something in between the semi-final and the final, which is stupid.
they have a semi-final, the prelim final.
They have eliminators.
Oh, I'd never thought of that.
What's wrong with just saying semi-final? Anyway, carry on.
Right. Finals rugby, playoff rugby, and it's the back three. Who can get their team going the best? It's looking like Leeds is going to be Brand and Charnley on the wings, and Daly Hodgson at full back. Wiggins will be Marshall and Field, and maybe Miskey or Eckersley on that other. They'll be fighting out for that one spot.
I think it'll be Miskey because that's who played the last couple of home games, isn't it? So I think it'll be him.
And for me, it's going to be that battle of who can get the team rolling forward best. Who can get the front foot on the wrestle so that players like, for Wigan, Thompson, Havard, Walters, Byrne, December can come tackle 3, 4 and 5.
And they can have their energy spent in the right places.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to offer it as thinking that Tessie New can come tackle 3, offer Hengawi, Robbie Mulhern can come tackle 3, 4, 5 and actually get yourself from being okay position to good kicking position so you can dominate that field position.
Yeah.
And it all starts with them first 2 tackles. The best teams in our country, the best teams in the world. You look at St Helens when they had their 4 in a row, they were built off the back of Makinson and Percival going shot and getting you 10, 15 yards.
Yes, they were.
And I think that wins playoff rugby. That's my key battle.
No, I'm with you.
Right. Key man for Wigan. Matty, who are you going
I just
for?
said my key. Adam Kieran.
You said Adam Kieran up against them defensively.
Yeah, Adam Kieran, yeah.
Who wins this game for Wigan?
Adam Kieran. Defensively, I still think that's the answer. I'm not worried about just putting points on. I think the squad we've got, we can put points on.
I was trying to tee you up, to talk about your favourite guy.
But I don't need to talk to him anymore. I just talked about him for 3 years on this podcast every single week, even when he's not been playing. Yeah, obviously, we'll hopefully have a bit of stardust from one of our key men, whose name begins with F, and then we'll play off the back of that.
I think that's right, isn't it? Loads of attacking flow. I'm glad I'm not Adrian Lamb doing the video over the last 4 or 5 weeks of Wigan's attack and looking at the structures and shapes that have been thrown. And then the off-the-cuff magic. Was it last year that we played Leigh?
Yep, last year where Farrell had the virus.
Sam Walters played it.
And Sam Walters came in and had a stormer.
And then did he get dropped from
Yeah, Farrell came back in, but then he's the captain, he's going to come back in. And Farrell had a great game in the final, so.
I'm trying to remember, did Walters go to the bench at Farrell?
Walters was 18th man for both finals last year. Yeah, obviously he was injured for the World Club. But he was 18th man for both finals. Because I remember some Leeds fans were saying, why have we let Walters go? He's not even making their team. But actually,
he had a storm of the week before.
Yeah, he played really well in semi.
Yeah. Right, Matty, I think that wraps it up.
Okay, up.
It looks to be a really interesting game,
Yeah.
When it goes ahead.
Yeah. Both the games look really interesting. I mean, all the media columns are talking about our game. Understandably so. It's got a bit of press.
Should we preview that game now, quickly?
The other one.
Hull KR Saints. Saints go to Hull KR.
Yeah.
It's 5:30 on Saturday.
Yeah. It's traditional recently for the league leader to play
Second,
yeah. I don't know why that is, but it's been like that for a while.
happened to us, didn't it? In
Happened to us 2 times in a row. Last 2 times.
24,
Yeah. I remember 2022, Saints. It happened to Saints, and they were saying, "Well, how come we don't get the extra day's rest?" I don't know why. Honestly, I don't know why. But
It's not even like you get an extra day's rest going into your semi, is it? Because you've already had the week off.
Yeah.
You don't need an extra day then.
So I don't know why, but that's just the way it is.
Who do you fancy?
Well, I do think it might be a bridge too far for St Helens. I still find the same weaknesses that we've had all season with regards to winning big games with attacking structure. I just don't see them being able to do that. I see them cutting open weak teams. Oh, fine, well done. But I've still never seen them cut open a good team.
If Saints are to win this, they have to win this game 8-6.
I agree. But on the other hand, Hull KR have limped to this point, you might say. They looked really, really uninspiring the last few weeks of the regular season. Now, you could say that week off, Matt, have done on the world of good. Got some miles back in the legs.
I don't think it's brought any bodies back, has it?
No, I don't think it needed to necessarily. I think it just needed to give them a bit of a recharge. They were obviously trying desperately to get over the line with that League Leaders Shield, and they eventually just about did, thanks to that magic try from Morg. And it feels like that's... Oof, thank goodness. I do think had they had to play a game the following week, I think they got beaten. I think they got beaten the following week after that because of how much it took out of them. Getting the week off, they're probably going to be okay. As for St Helens, the left to right move, whatever it's called, the new wide to west.
The wide to right.
Yeah, I liked it. Normally it doesn't work when there's desperation play like that. I liked it. I liked the desperation of it. I thought it was terrible from Leeds. We'll talk about that in a bit, but it might take a bit out of them. Like, you see Wellens running on the pitch there, sprinting. Could be a team of destiny. Could be. Or it could be that was the last 1% of your luck and your energy and all your momentum. You've used it upon that. Could be either one. I'm not saying it is one or the other.
The one thing I'll say is, as a fan of one of the teams in the opposite semi, what I do think is this will turn the game into a forwards battle.
Yeah.
Where I think Leeds would possibly try and outscore Hull KR.
Yeah.
So hopefully that takes more out of whoever wins that game and suits up for Wigan or Leigh, depending on who gets through in our game.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a really interesting thing because everyone seemed to have just assumed Leeds were going to win.
Yeah, there was a lot of people assuming Leeds were going to win. Saints have now won 3 out of 4 against Leeds this year. They always seem to have had the one over Leeds. Not for 1 second did I think they were going to win that game.
No, I can't say I did either.
It was after the game was over that I thought they might win it.
Yeah.
But Leeds never killed them, and it's a lesson. You got to kill teams off when you've got them.
Yes.
And they never did, and they deserve it because the fans cheered the hooter, thinking that was the end of the game. And there was another penalty. Who was saying go for 2, by the way? Someone on commentary definitely said, "Do they go for 2?" It was a par 3.
Par 5? That far out. Like, come on.
No, you said par 3 though. You got drill one, then lay up, and then you've got to kick under the sticks. From 3 kicks from there, on a tee.
I'm going pin hunting on a par 3.
That's your prerogative. See, I'll play it safe and walk away with a 3. You're either in there for 2 or
9.
Or you put a blob down.
Yeah. We'll get into that when we talk about the other games. Right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll go through the news and what's caught your eye. Matty? Matty, you've obviously keeping your eye out like you've done all season. What has caught your eye this week?
Well, number one, we've got the Toulouse comeback win over Bradford, which puts them into the final against York.
It was a big comeback, that one, too.
Yeah, they were 16-0 down at half-time and ended up winning like 30 points to 22 or something like that, 26, 22, something like that. Fantastic win for them. Bradford, obviously, showed they can hang, but didn't have quite enough. Those are the best 2 teams that have made the final. Looking forward to watching that. It will be free on YouTube, I think. Normally
it's meant to be with Sportsman.
Sportsman usually has it free on YouTube, so I'll be watching that. And then the NRL Grand Final. It's the day Grand Finals on Sunday, actually. NRL Grand Final is going to be the Broncos versus the Storm. Storm dispatched the Sharkies at home.
Start where it matters. The Panthers can't do 5 in a row.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was just going chronologically there. Penrith lost. which means their streak is over. They won 4 in a row. They made 5 finals in a row. The first final they won in part because Adam Reynolds failed to kick a goal from the touchline, and Adam Reynolds kicked a goal from the touchline to sink them in this match. Poetic.
How good were Brizzy? Like,
they were fantastic, and they are a fantastic side. And
to look completely blown off the park in the first 40 minutes.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And Panthers battered them with system and domination of field position and whatever. To just come back like that in the last 40.
Yeah.
I thought Reynolds had a really good game. Reece Walsh
was outstanding. He is outstanding.
They talk about, like, he can be hit and miss. He can be brilliant and then rubbish and then this and then that. When he's at his best, he's serious.
Do you think we're going to get to see him in the green and gold jumper in Tests 1 and 3 when we go watching him at the Ashes? Or, well, I'll steal one of your news stories there. James Tedesco's going to miss the Ashes because his brother's getting married. And, okay, fine.
Fair enough.
Miss all 3 games for that, yeah, okay. I'm sure it's only a one-day wedding, but he's going to miss that. So, is Reece Walsh going to be in that one jumper?
I can see the attraction of wanting to go. As an Australian, Dylan Edwards, he's 200 metres, 2 carries a set, safe under the high ball, good hands, good defensively.
Yeah.
But for me, and the way I want my fullback, I think going back to our early days, Amos Roberts at fullback. So
you can't compare Reece Walsh with Amos Roberts, please.
See, just bear with me a second, right? On everything that I've ever wanted, Sam Tompkins had it, Field has it, French has it. Frightening pace, really, really attacking. The most attacking player on the pitch.
Mm.
And I just look and I go, Reece Walsh is that for them.
Mm.
He's the attacking option. He's the one that could rip a team apart. He might make some mistakes. But if you're picking...
He might drink some water out of the toilet.
Yeah.
He might paint his nails. He might be awful at goal kicking when he doesn't have any warm-up.
Yeah. But there's just something exciting about him.
He's an excitement machine, he is, yeah.
And for me over Dylan, I love Dylan Edwards. I think he's a great player. But if you're asking me to pick a full-back, I'm picking Reece Walsh every day of the week.
Interesting. Yeah.
Especially if you're playing alongside Nathan Cleary. You don't need an organising. You don't need a...
Well, you know who I'd pick, but he probably isn't going to be playing for Australia. Hammer. Yep. Hammer.
Well, I was thinking that as you asked me that question.
I think he's probably going to play for Samoa.
I would pick Hammer. But he's going to play for Samoa.
Yeah.
So, knowing Australia, if he was available for Australia, they'd probably pick Reece Walsh or Dylan Edwards.
And
Palmer at centre.
That'd still be amazing.
But as a full-back, Edwards... I'm trying to think about some of the other options. Ponga.
Yeah. Pappenhausen.
I'm picking them 3 ahead of Edwards because I want that excitement.
Yeah.
I want that flair. I want that match winner
Yeah, okay.
at full-back.
Fair enough.
Not that I should be telling.
No, I mean Kevin Walters.
Is it Kevin Walters?
He's going to pick it, not you, but I know what you mean. Marky Mark also not going to be playing in the Ashes. But this is a weird one, right? Marky Mark doesn't want to play in the Ashes because he's going back to rugby union in 2027.
Yeah, so he's going back for the... I really don't get this, and again, this was going to be in the news. Marky Mark is going, obviously, back to union.
Yeah.
He signed a 3-year deal with the Roosters, but he's only going to do 2 years of that.
Yeah.
He's not going to go to Super Rugby. He's either going to go to Japanese rugby or French rugby.
Why do they always go to Japanese rugby? There must be some money there.
Money, money, money.
Yeah, money.
To play for the Wallabies in the World Cup, hopefully in 2027. I don't get why you wouldn't try and get yourself in the Australia 2026 World Cup team.
Yeah.
Finish that and then go.
Do 2 World Cups in 2 years. That'd be amazing.
But, to be fair, Gus Gould said it very well on his podcast. His words were, they've bought 12 months of exposure, 12 months of headlines by pinching in from the Roosters early. Rugby union as a whole.
Right.
They got 12 months of it when Leigh signed.
Yeah.
he's chose to come and play for the Wallabies.
Yeah.
And they've got the same now with Marky Mark. Every headline's going to be...
And they got the same with Christian Wade.
Yes. Yes. I completely forgot where we're up to.
Storm, you didn't let me talk about the Storm.
Go on.
Storm won easily against the Sharks, really. The scoreline wasn't easy, but I do think the game was easy that it looked on the scoreline. Storm, Broncos Grand Final. Can I remember one of those off the top of my head? Maybe there was one back in the day. I feel like
Again, I'm certain I was listening to something.
Big Sammy Thigh Day, like, you know, against Storm. Maybe in that when Melbourne won 3 in a row before match came to us.
No, I'll tell you what it was. Just before. So they obviously won it when they came in early, like 97, 98. They won one early on.
Yeah.
But then they won. They played Brisbane, lost, and then they won 3 or 4 in a row. Was it like 2007?
One of them was against Manly. One of them was definitely against the Eels because they always mention Handmarsh crying.
Yeah, I think they played each other in 2006, 5, 6. And they lost that. That was like the first one they lost before.
So Brisbane haven't won it for a while then.
Well, Brizzy were in there in 2023.
Yes, they were.
They lost to Penrith. Kevin Walters was coach.
They lost to the Cowboys when Ben Hunt dropped the ball.
Yeah.
And Thurston dropped a goal.
Yeah, he hit the post with a kick.
He hit the post with a kick, then Ben Hunt dropped it, and then
Yes.
Well, they had the game won.
Be interesting the last time Brisbane won one.
That's probably that one.
Yeah, I don't think they won any early 2000s, 2010s,
Early
did they?
2010s, I feel like it was still...
No, because they can't have. Because remember when they played us?
Well, St George...
Do you remember when it was World Club Series? We played Brisbane. They must have lost the final or...
Yeah, you can work this out from the World Club Challenge because we played St George in 11.
Meaning they won it in 10.
Yeah. We played Roosters in 14.
So they won it in
Manly...
Leeds played the Cowboys. What year was that?
Leeds played the Cowboys in 16 because didn't Lachlan Coote play in that one? Leeds also played Manly. In one of Leeds' 5 in a row, they played Manly. That might have been after we'd played Dragons. Yeah, I don't think Brisbane have won it since 2006, is my answer.
2006?
Yes, there you go, my mastermind. I used it all the time, but I got it right.
Yeah, you definitely used it all the time though. This is different again. You got it too. Before we move on to that game, we should talk about it. Jerome Hughes. They talk about. I was listening to people talking. They said Glenn Lazarus back in the day played 6 weeks after a broken forearm.
Glenn Lazarus.
Yeah,
that's hard to say.
It is when you're trying to remember on the top of your head. Jerome Hughes played.
Yeah, Glenn Lazarus went to halfback.
But he played 22 days earlier than what he did.
Lazarus.
Both in the grand final, obviously. Now going to be doing
Lazarus also, it's in the name, isn't it? Got a history of rising up off the injury table to come and play.
But 22 days earlier for a halfback,
yeah,
it's just unheard of, really.
Uh-huh.
Off the back of a major shoulder dislocation.
I know. And
to come back, score, boss the game.
If he goes next week and wins Clive Churchill.
This is Cooper Cronk.
Yeah,
when he played with the
broken neck.
Yeah, the shoulder.
Yeah. It's Sam Burgess with his cheekbone looking like a dropped pie.
The only difference is no one knew about him. People are going to know that he's...
No, we knew about Burgess.
We knew about Burgess straight away.
But we didn't know he fractured his cheekbone, I suppose.
Pre-game, you weren't saying, he's got a fractured cheekbone, he's got a dodgy shoulder.
Yeah.
You were saying, we're going to play normally. This is 2 weeks of prep that they're going to run at him.
Yeah. I did see somewhere one of the sports betting websites, which shall remain unnamed, and I think they've suspended bets on this anyway now, so it doesn't matter. But they clearly don't understand rugby league and put Xavier Coates as 9-1 anytime try scorer. 9-1 for Xavier Coates. Like, I feel like that's just the easiest open goal I've ever seen.
Yeah, printing money.
It is. Feels like it at that price.
Yeah. Who do you fancy that game?
I think I think Brisbane will do it. I really do. I think Brisbane will do it. I just think the injury to Hughes might be a bit too much. Brisbane have had their spine clicking as well, so yeah, look for something outrageous from Reece Walsh. Look for Xavier Coates to score and win some people some money on that bad website. But I think Brisbane.
Right. I want Brisbane to win,
Yeah.
but I think Melbourne will,
Yeah.
because I think Brisbane have pushed it too close in the last two.
They have
The
been
last minute win to Raiders.
They were out against the Raiders. Not like even the wide to right try. They were out, and then they had another chance and scored the drop goal.
The last minute against
The
the Panthers.
two. I mean, then they were last minute against the Panthers where they were losing. They had to kick the goal to win that. I know what you mean. Whereas
And I
the
think
Storm was just breezed by Dogs, breezed by Sharks.
They've got 2 days extra rest.
Yeah. I do. I think you might be onto something there.
And I'm going to say it. Munster, game of his life, wins it.
So again, because we're going to be talking about this again next year, no one who's conceded 50 is going to win it, and no one who finished outside the top four is going to win it. Also, these two teams both won on opening weekend. Didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for. I want Brisbane to win. I want Brisbane to win for match.
Yeah.
But my heart is telling me Brisbane. My brain is telling me that it's the Storm.
Yeah.
And Munster or Grant to have a field there. Right. Should we go to the news?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, a couple of things. Victor Radley out of the Ashes squad.
Yeah.
I'm not quite certain why, because he's not banned for it.
No, he's not banned for it. He decided he's not playing. I think he was in Sean Wayne's plans.
I think Wayne was going to pick him.
I think Wayne was going to pick him as well.
I'd be ringing him up saying, do you still fancy a game?
It's obviously... Well, now he's done that publicly and decided he's not playing. He's not injured. I don't think you can do that. You can never go back. I mean, listen, Morgan Knowles is a very capable 13.
Replacement.
He's a very, very, very good player. Saints are going to be hard-pressed to replace him, so he can slot straight in for me.
Yeah. Couple of other pieces of news. St. Helens have announced a signing today. Back rower, Jacob Horst.
Yeah, okay.
From the Rabbitohs.
Can't say I've ever seen him play, and I've watched a lot of NRL. I've not watched a lot of Rabbitohs this year because they've been awful.
They've not been great, have they? But that's one of the big pieces of news. Obviously, we're not going to go back into the whole incident with Leigh and not going to play.
No. Dennis Betts.
Dennis Betts, coach of the year in the
Women's Coach of the Year. Halifax won the wheelchair final.
Yeah.
To, I believe, go all the season unbeaten and win the double. Or treble, I guess, because they must have a League Leaders Shield as well. So
Yes.
they've done incredibly well there, because I remember the Halifax maybe lost the grand final last year. I can never remember. It all blurs into one. I still remember Deck kicking that goal for Wigan to win it against Leeds that one time.
big time.
I'll go that.
Another piece of news, obviously, Featherstone, there's been reports that they're not going to get paid on time.
Shock.
Some not great news there for September. And
Brennan for Tony, he's moving house, isn't he? He's moving from Wakefield to Castleford.
yeah, I wasn't certain when that was announced.
I know it's been rumoured for a long, long time. Is that what you get?
Yeah.
Wakefield announced it yesterday and said, good luck in WK13. So they put a Wakefield postcode.
Yeah.
Clearly a parting shot there, basically saying good luck in Wakefield because you still live in Wakefield. And Hull FC have signed someone as well, Arthur Romano from
Hudders?
Catalan Dragons,
Yeah.
the centre. He's played for France. Decent enough centre. Signed for Hull FC. They desperately needed some depth because Heidecker has to play 14 positions.
He's a bit younger as well, isn't he? When you look at the signings that they've made, I think he's a
good
young
profile.
lad.
Yeah, good age profile for them.
One last piece of news, really, and there's not much to say on this, but we've got to mention it, the Lockie Lamb situation.
Oh, yeah.
There was an accusation made against him from Mason Leno
Yeah.
in terms of derogatory comments. Obviously, the comments being said haven't been released.
No.
And the RFL have said they're going to investigate it next week.
Next Monday, just after his semi-final game, they're going to start investigating it. Look, we saw a huge ban handed to Tony Clubb on what was really a he said argument.
Yeah, weren't the RFL pretty open with they didn't have evidence?
They didn't have evidence, but they were going to ban him anyway. Josh Maguire, I think there might have been a touch judge who heard that one.
Yes.
So there was a bit of evidence, or was it said to a touch judge maybe?
No, so there was a comment made to Josh Charnley.
Oh, of course, it was to Josh Charnley. Nobody made another comment separately to a touch judge, which is why his ban was so long.
Yes. He got 12, didn't he?
Yeah,
Something
because
like
it was
that.
his second one. Straight away, he had the one to Charnley, which was obviously despicable. And then he called the touch judge, and I think, and that's why he got such a long ban. But we don't see much of this, which is a good thing. We don't have much of this in our game. And it's disappointing when it happens because it does tend to then make the national media, as the Mess did today. It'd be interesting to see what they do if they win. Well, it'd be very interesting to see what they do if they win.
Well, this is what I don't get. I'd almost more understand it if they said we're going to wait till the end of the season to properly investigate it.
Well, they said
if
we
Leeds
win next week at the earliest, so they could always say push it back to after the grand finals.
but then you might as well just say, well, we just want our best players being available.
Well,
How serious of it?
Aaron Kieran and Tyler Dupree and who's the other one? They want to say.
My point being is actually maybe they're just waiting because they don't want to ban someone for something like this and miss a final.
Yeah.
How serious of an accusation would it have to be to get it investigated now and done before the next game? Because I can't imagine any other sport in the world saying we're not going to look at it until after he's played another game. That just doesn't make sense in my head.
No, it doesn't make sense. But not much the rugby league does make sense.
That's very, very
It
true.
seems to be desperately trying to convince everyone it's a small time competition. And,
Everyone else is trying to play bigger and we're trying to play smaller.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's run like a local hockey league with 3 old people in charge of the committee.
Really.
Well, like if we had something, and this has never happened to either of us, but it has happened to people we know. If we had something on a Saturday where we got in trouble with like an umpire, we crossed the line, it would be dealt with more professionally than this. And one of these people is paying £24 a month to play, and one of them is being paid, £250,000 a year to play in front of millions.
For a multi-million-pound sport.
Yeah.
It would be dealt with.
Yeah.
We've seen it in our amateur sport. People get banned.
We get big bans, yeah. Immediate bans.
Immediately. And this just is being ignored for now. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I'm pretty certain it was the same with Club. I think Club played the week after his.
Yeah, it was wrong then and it's wrong now.
I don't get it. Right, that's all the news, I think. We're going to take a quick break and then we'll have a look at the 2 previous quarterfinals,
I call
yeah, semi-finals if you're Australian. Okay, so we're going to go around the grounds now. What do you reckon, Matty? Do you reckon we start with our opponents on Friday, their game?
Yeah, do it chronologically.
They played Wakefield Friday. An easy-ish game for them. A game that they'll be happy of having.
Yeah, they were always in control of this game, weren't they? They were always in
Yeah.
control of this from May 1, really.
26 points to 10. They were ahead by 18 points to 0 at half time. Obviously, you're thinking, come out and score first and the game might be on. Wakey did that. They kicked a penalty 3 minutes later and just took it further away.
Yeah.
Just good game management.
Yeah.
Did everything they needed to.
Game managed.
Wakey, one game too far for them.
Yeah, maybe, but it probably was, yeah, but for Leigh, like, they just breezed into the semi-final of Super League. And that's never happened before. I know they've been to the semi-final before, but they were not breezing through to semi-final. Like, they could be perennially up there, you know.
Well, I'm just thinking about it. So 23, they finished 5th. They won the Challenge Cup.
3 years ago, they weren't in the division, and now they just strolled quite convincingly.
I was just saying, what was the result in 23 in the playoffs? They played
They
Hull KR.
lost to Hull KR away from home in the first round.
2024,
Yeah.
they finished 5th again. Played Salford and won.
Yeah.
But then lost to us.
Yeah.
This year, 2025, obviously they finished 3rd, so an improvement in the league.
The best ever finish, and I feel like some of the fans are taking it for granted, perhaps. But like, this is a really good finish,
Yeah.
and really good season for.
And they haven't done it easy as well. They've not. It's not like they've been without injuries, and
They've not had the extra games against Salford
not.
or Huddersfield.
They've got a semi-final. They've won their game. They'll be fresher than they were the previous 2 years.
Yep.
And they'll fancy the chances this week.
They will, yeah. They will. They've already turned us over a couple of times.
Mm.
They will.
But yeah, it was probably the game they'd won.
Yeah.
They've had a decent couple of weeks. Obviously, the week before they played Huddersfield and won 30 points to 16.
Yeah.
They won 26 points to 10. I don't think they took any injuries.
No. Obviously, there was the Lamb situation, which we've spoken about.
Yeah.
So I think I know we kind of already touched on a lot because we spoke about Leigh already in this episode. So I don't think there's much to talk about on this game,
But
apart from how easy it was.
yeah, and he'll just reaffirm some of the ways that they were playing. They've done well, and that is going to be their next step, obviously, in the progression.
Yeah.
They're now a regular top 6 team, I think.
Yeah.
I was going to say, thinking about our predictions, I think I had them 6th. I had them just sneaking in. I think you had them just missing out. I think Lewis was 8th. He had a bit of a fall off after.
Well, they had a lot of turnover, didn't
They had a lot of turnover, but there was no one saying they were going to get better.
No.
And that's what they've done. So, all credit to them.
Yep.
And that's their next job. Their next job is to go down the Hull KR route and
Go on better.
go on better.
Mm.
Get a home semi-final. So you can decide tickets. You've controlling of tickets. Couldn't help that little dig. I do apologise. Next semi-final. Saturday. It was 8 o'clock kick-off on a Saturday. Saints went to Leeds.
Yep.
Leeds winning at half-time 12 points to 6. They took the penalty to make it 14-6. Benison try, Benison conversion, and then the wide to right try. Now,
Yeah.
should we start at the end
Okay.
with the try?
Wide to right. Chainwright did the right thing. Thank goodness somebody straightened up in that move.
Yeah.
And they didn't end up running out of room because it was like 4-0 at one point.
Yeah, it was 4-on-1 with Newman.
And they kept going wide.
Newman is trying to buy time into it. He's trying to buy a
That's his only
mistake.
option, isn't it?
And then Shane Wright just puts it on the shoulder and dives down and does his thing. I think Leeds have got to be critical of themselves here.
Of course they do. Of course they do. They have so many chances to kill this at source.
So the thing with this try is obviously they get the penalty, which is a correct penalty, and crowds cheer for some strange reason as if they're not going to take the penalty. They go right, and Saints look a little bit clueless. They then swing it back left, and Shane Wright, to be fair to him, makes a few metres.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
They then swing it back right, and without having the play in front of me and watching it right now,
Yeah.
there are 7 or 8 people who should tackle Harry Robertson.
Oh, yeah,
He cuts
at
back in
least.
on the inside, which is fair enough. Jake Connor, Ash Hanley, Chris Hankinson, all missed 2 tackles on him. He gets an offload back on the inside to Tristan Saylor, who has been criticised this year, but really good pass. But I want to mention a couple of things of that. He thought it was a brilliant flick pass, 25 yards. Why were there just hands being thrown at the ball to try and knock it out of his hands? And someone's not seeing it going to him and thinking, I'm taking him here. It was soft defence. And then someone described it to me as under nines defence.
Oh, I'll run to the ball.
They're doing something over there, let's all run across.
It's like my year 17 man coaching at the minute. Caveman rugby, it's called. You just get all the ones who've not played rugby before.
Just run towards it.
Just run and make a tackle.
Yeah. But we're talking experienced players running across, and they leave Harry Newman all on that right side. Ryan Hall runs across. Brody Croft runs across.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just have to hold your line. It happens a lot with Wigan. I don't want to make it back about Wigan again. But how many times you see an offload and someone shouts, "Get him, tackle him up." In my opinion, is just hold your line. Let him throw it around and just stand there and defend it. They throw it around and it gets open, and Shane Wright does a brilliant piece of work.
Yes.
Now, we should say it was 14 points to 6 with 15 minutes to go. It was 14 points to 6 with 6 minutes to go. When Benison scores.
Yeah.
Now,
a lot of talk about that.
a lot of talk.
I want to talk about it as well. See, it's an unusual situation, this, in that there has been a public apology from Phil Bentham that the video ref procedure was wrong. Now, that's not to say he thinks it was a no try.
I was going to say, nowhere at any point does he actually say it's no try.
I think it's a try.
I think it's a try.
I think he scores.
What Bentham said is, correct me if I'm wrong here, he said there's another angle that would have added doubt to the video ref's thinking, and then he wouldn't have been able to overturn the no try call on field.
Yeah, that's what he said.
So he's not said they got it wrong.
Well,
They've said they've got the process wrong, and that this angle should have been checked, and Chris Kendall should have then said
it's
not clear enough.
I'm going to stick with the on-field decision, which he probably that is what he should have done. However, I think John Benison scored. The ref was in a better position than Chris Kendall.
I was very surprised the ref gave
no
try on field.
I'm surprised he sent it up.
I don't want him sending it up. To say
it was dead close, and the cameras never see those well. But I don't think. Are we now for Leeds fans? This is not an admission of a wrong decision. This is not them admitting that it was a no try, but it is them admitting they should have given no try, which I feel like is really weird to do.
There's no sport that would do that.
Yeah,
but are they going to go back and look at every wrong mistake and apologise for it now?
Right.
Because was it Cooper Jenkins that hit Donald Clark high?
Yeah, McDonald knocks on in build up to one of Leeds' tries.
The first try, Chris Hankinson's try, they knock on the build up.
Are we going to get an apology for 2015 Grand Final? Like, what are we doing apologising for one thing when actually...
We've never had this president apologising.
The game is full of mistakes. And I know it's more frustrating when it's a video referee making a mistake, because he should get this right.
But you said 2015 was the knock on.
Yeah.
That was a video ref.
Yeah.
Video ref could have made the right call and he got it wrong. We didn't get an apology.
Video ref got it wrong. Magic Weekend. Video ref got it wrong when he was tracking not tracking Jordan Tansey back in the day.
What my issue with this is this has took away from Leeds had an 8-point lead with 6 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Leeds didn't defend well enough for the John Benison try, and Leeds didn't defend well enough.
No, not only did they not defend well enough for the Shane Wright try, they didn't defend well enough on the play they gave away the penalty. The last play.
They were far too open.
All you got to do is defend the 20. You're up there in good ball. You turn it over, you do the right thing. Defend that for one play and you've won the game. You shouldn't get
broken that ball knowing there's 5 seconds left on it.
With 13 of you, you shouldn't be getting beaten from that distance out.
Yeah.
For the fact that you have to scramble back and fall on it and give away an offside.
Yeah, and
let him have it. Exactly.
Weirdly, if Saints had just launched it up and someone had jumped up and knocked it back into someone's hands, you go, well, you can't.
I'd be much more accepting of that. But the fact they got beaten twice on just hands plays.
Yeah, that weren't particularly well executed either.
No.
Yeah, very, very, very surprising. But luckily for St Helens, that means obviously they get the win.
16 points to 14.
It's
For Leeds, it's
certainly going
Mad
to be...
Monday.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, there was a bold thing this morning about they were going to replace Leigh. That was never going to happen.
Surely a bit wakey.
Well,
They lost to Leigh.
yeah, I don't know, actually. Why would it be Leeds?
Next ranked.
Oh,
They're the highest ranked team, and they would be
You
the...
can't be. And then I saw, okay, I finished top, so they should get the bye, and Wigan should play Saints. Yeah, no, that's not how it works either. If Wigan's opponents can't play, Wigan get the bye. Don't just all of a sudden switch.
Yeah. So yeah, that wraps up the playoffs. This round we're going to the semi-final.
Yeah.
Wigan Leigh, Friday, 8 o'clock kickoff. Hull KR Saints, Saturday, 5:30 kickoff, earlier time. All in preparation for the big one, the one that matters.
Yeah, NRL Grand Final, Sunday. Women's Grand Final, Sunday afternoon. So yeah, very exciting weekend of rugby league coming up. Very, very exciting.
Yeah. Right. Thank you for listening. Matty, thank you for coming on. And hopefully next week we've got the result that we want.
Fingers crossed.
Thank you. Goodbye.